Our first speaker is Clint Taylor. Clint is the President of Family and Children's Rights Australia, and he's also a leader of West Australian Peacemakers. I've known Clint for some time. We've had dealings with Clint over the years, including submissions and contact whilst at Parliament. So, Clint, I'll hand it over to you, mate.
Thanks, Phil, and a big thank you to everyone who came tonight. It's great to see so many people, and particularly parents, who are concerned about this bill that the government is trying to push through. I'm sure you all agree that we're all parents and we all have rights to our children. What I've got here is a bit of a slideshow. I'm going to flick through it fairly quickly. I'll just give you a summary for the people that don't know who we are. Just to let you know who we are, there's a couple of points in there that I'd like to cover, and then we'll move on to the next speakers. Just while I think of it, if anybody's hungry, please, the venue here really look after us, so the best way we can repay them is to spend some money, order some food, and be a good customer to them at the bar as well. Okay, so everybody saw that flyer going around. Now, I'd just like to big thank you to our good friend Andre. He waxed these out really quickly one evening, and you can see how professional they are. He's not here tonight, unfortunately, but I just want everyone to know that we've got good people behind the scenes helping us out. Okay, so a lot of people here will know us, the Australian Peacemakers. We're a national group. It was created by a man called Nick Patterson, and some of you may have came to our previous event here, Christians Unite. Nick actually flew over from Melbourne to attend, and he was our keynote speaker. We actually a national group, and we defend the people's rights to be sovereign, to actually make decisions for ourselves. People that are familiar with the mandates and what the McGowan government has done over the last couple of years will know of us with the rallies that we organised and held in the city and throughout the suburbs actually. And at our rally in November 2021, we had the biggest rally Perth has ever seen. We had 50,000 people. This is a recruitment flyer, so if anybody wants to join us, please send an email to the flyer. A lot of you would have received a flyer from Deng as you came in. He was handing them out, and also Ben was handing them out as you came in. So please, if you want to join us, please send an email and provide us your details, and we'll contact you. Now, This bill is actually about family law and the removal of parental rights. Now, I've been an advocate for pushing back against the family courts since 2014. Many people here know me, but a lot of people don't know who we are. So I thought I'd give a brief summary of who we are, what we've done over the years, and what we're all about. So we've actually got a Facebook page. If you want to take a photo or jot down what our addresses are there. We've got a YouTube channel as well. There's a lot of people in this room that have actually provided us with some testimonials, telling their own story on YouTube, anonymous stories. We've had grandmothers, grandparents, alienated fathers and mothers. Some of it's quite heartbreaking stuff, so I'm warning you, but we're here to support everyone that goes through the nightmare of family court. So this is pretty much our motto from the beginning, back in 2014. We promise our kids will keep fighting the laws now so that they never have to fight to see their kids like I did. 2015, the gates of hell. I'm sure a lot of people who have been through the family court would agree, yes? We kicked off with a couple of signs that we had knocked up with some scrap money that we we had lying around. We would hand out flyers at Elizabeth Quay train station in the morning, 6 a.m. to about 9 a.m, just to raise awareness of what's going on. Because the Family Court has the Family Law Act has a section called Section 121, which prevents anybody, including the media, participants in the case, from discussing anything to do with the court case. If you're found to be doing that and distributing any sort of information and using names, you'll go to jail for a year, sometimes 3 years, depending on the severity of it. So we would hand out stickers, bumper car stickers and things like that, bumper stickers, sorry. Just whenever we can scratch up a few coins and get some donations, we just buy stuff and put it back into the group, just to raise awareness. We did a lot of raising awareness events. We did a lot of, we actually did a rally on Father's Day because so many dads alienated from their, also grandparents. We had grandparents and mums joining that Father's Day rally. They were alienated from their children and their grandchildren on Father's Day and Grandfather's Day. That's actually right out front of the Family Court. We would hold protests every Monday and Wednesday and sometimes Fridays if some of the guys were free. So we got right up their nostrils so they knew what we're about. Anyone that was entering in there, we would get their details and they would tell us their stories. We'd be there all day. I've met a lot of people in this room out front of the Family Court. You know, there's no services there to support people that are going through the nightmare. So we thought that our group could be there and we can assist people with, you know, even moral support, a phone call, 10 o'clock at night, midnight. Phone's always there, number's always there, give us a call. So we do these protests for quite a few years. You'll see as I flick through these photographs. We also did some raising awareness events and protests at the suburban courts, Joondalup, Armidale, Fremantle, Rockingham. We've been all around, and so many people resonate with what we're doing. 2019 was the Father's Day rally. We did a rally and a march up to Parliament House, and we laid a wreath on the steps of Parliament House for all the dead parent-child relationships. We had a collaboration with One Nation, Paul and Hanson's One Nation, and that's where I met Phil and a couple of my other good friends, Sean Chang, Travis Carter, Aaron Malloy. We had a lot of support back then going through the family law inquiry that was a joint select committee between, we had a co-chair, was Pauline and Kevin Andrews, I believe, from memory, which is what this bill is about. This bill is about changing some aspects of that. Some of the guys up here in this photograph haven't seen their children for 10, 15, 20 years. We would have social gatherings as well. This was a Christmas party that we had, so the guys got together. We handed out some awards. And we started getting some funds together, some donations, and buying some banners, getting them printed up and hanging them off the freeway bridges. Some of you may recall that, driving to work and seeing us there. A lot of positive support. 90% of people that were going by were tooting their horns and thumbs up. And some of the guys that hadn't seen their kids for years, it really lifted them up, you know, and it gave them a good feeling that they were on top of the world all day long. These are just a couple of our flyers that we put together. Have a read of that. It just shows you what goes on in the family courts behind the veil of Section 121. You'll see the flyer there on the left. If you go 5 kilometres over the speed limit, fined $100. You breach a court order, contravene a court order, family court order, don't even get a slap on the wrist. 0. Tell lies in the family court. Lies are told every day, constantly. No penalty. So what is tonight all about? Okay, so I'll read through this quite quickly because I want to get to the next slide. It's about the Albanese Labor government's attempt to remove the parental rights of Australian parents in the Australian family court system. They're attempting to do this via the Family Law Amendment Bill 2023, which is currently open to the public for comment. It opened on the 30th of January and closes 27th of February. Did anyone see this advertised in the papers or on TV or in the media? Hands up. Anyone? I certainly didn't. They want to remove the presumption of equal shared parental responsibility, whilst at the same time they are seeking to increase the protection of the members of the industry and further protect the secrecy of what goes on behind the closed doors of the family courts. You are all here tonight because you obviously care very much about defending your God-given right to parent your own children. Yes? And you do not want a totalitarian government to violate those human rights or allow any of them to remove those rights. Sadly, for many who have been through this nightmare of the family court, they have already had their parental rights removed based on unjust decisions. It is now time for you all to use your voice and be heard on this subject. You can do this by making a submission to help call out this abhorrent abuse of our rights and work together as parents, mums and dads, and do our very best to have this evil bill thrown out. This is an extract out of a family court order. And I'll read it to you, it's quite blurry. So behind closed doors of the family court. It's actually the second paragraph, but I'll read both paragraphs. Paragraph 4, the parties and the independent children's lawyer be restrained, and an injunction is hereby granted restraining each of them from providing copies of any single expert witness report prepared for the purpose of these proceedings, or permitting any other person to do so to any person or entity other than their solicitor or counsel in these proceedings, without first obtaining leave of the court. Paragraph 5. The parties and the independent children's lawyer be restrained, and an injunction is hereby granted restraining each of them from making any complaint to a professional body of association concerning the conduct of the single expert witness or concerning the content of the single expert witness's report, or permitting any other person to do so without first obtaining leave of the court. Now, you're not even allowed to complain about a report that was written about your family in a 1 hour, maximum 1 hour consultation or interview with that so-called expert. So moving on to the bill, this was actually tabled in June of 2020. You will see the federal MP is Mr. Graham Perrott. And he collaborates with some domestic violence groups and organisations in Queensland. One of those is Safe Steps. Now he also has the support of the Green Senator Larissa Waters and another domestic violence advocate. Her name is Sherelle Moody. Now Sherelle Moody stood up in front of all of Australia on the news, stating during the bushfires of 2019, I think it was, on the East Coast, devastating bushfires, she stood up and said, during cataclysmic events, wives get abused by their husbands when they return from fighting the fires. So why do children need shared parenting? Now, these next slides are a bit blurry. I'm not the best on the computer, but I did some snapshots, so I will read them out as well. Why do children need shared parenting? Without shared parenting, children are more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol. They are likely to drop out of high school. They are more likely to have emotional and behavioural problems. They are more likely to become a teen parent. They are more likely to face abuse and neglect. And they make up 63% of youth suicides, 85% of children with behavioural problems, 85% of youth in prison, 75% of adolescent patients in rehab, and 71% of high school dropouts. So how do the adult children of divorce and separation feel about shared parenting? Only 7% felt their mothers wanted them to spend equal amounts of time with each parent. 70% of all children believed equal time with each parent was best. 85% of children wanted more time with their fathers. 93% of those who actually lived equal time with each parent believed it was the best. And over 70% knew their fathers wanted more time and wanted to live equally with them. They also knew their mothers opposed it. So what are the studies and 110 worldwide experts concluded? Shared parenting is linked to better outcomes for children of all ages across a wide range of emotional, behavioural and physical health measures. It's simple. Shared parenting limits at-risk youth, is preferred by children, diminishes major societal issues and is endorsed by the professionals. All that information is available on this website. If you'd like to go there, by all means. Trying to put kids first. Very informative. This is a flyer that's on each one of your tables. So could you please take a photo of that flyer, save it in your phone, and send it around to every parent that you know, and ask them to put in submission. The link to the submission is on the flyer, so please get your phone out and take a photograph of it. Now, to assist people, if you don't think you can do it yourself online, some people can, some people can't. There's another flyer on your tables, and we need to take action now. If you need help, please email to the email addresses on the flyer or text me. We have City and South of River locations. We're going to open up our homes. There's some other guys as well. If you send the times that you're available, we're available all this weekend, through the week, and next weekend. Remember, this closes on the 27th of February. There's been no media coverage of it. Okay, many years ago, when we were doing our advocacy work and protests on the freeways, our good friend Augusto Zimmerman came along and supported us the very first time I met him, and we've got a bit of a thank you for Augusto today. Courts, would you like to come up and give me your assistance, please? So I've got a bit of a presentation for Augusto. Augusto, would you like to join us? Round of applause for Augusto, please. This is a thank you to Augusto, and it's a presentation certificate as an honorary member of Family and Children's Rights Australia. Round of applause, please. Okay, that's it for me. I'm sure you want to listen to the next speakers. And again, thank you Thank you very much for coming, everybody, and if you could please show your patronage at the bar and purchase some food to assist us. Thank you.